friends, welcome back to another video, and if you're new, hi, my name's Paris. Today's video is going to be an August wrap-up, an August book haul, and a September TBR. I'm super happy with myself because this month I actually read some books because I did a 24-hour readathon. I'll leave the link up in the iCard so you can go watch that video after this one. I'm super excited to show you the books that I read, and I also acquired a lot of books this month. I put myself on a spending ban, but like it only lasted 2 days and then I ordered more books. So yeah. I'm not very good at going on spending bans. If you've never watched a video of mine before, specifically my wrap-up TBR haul videos, we start with a haul from the books that I bought from August, and then we go into the books that I read in August, and then we go into the books that I want to read the next month, which is September, which is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that it is almost September. It's one day away on the day that I'm filming this video. So we're going to start off with a haul of all the books that I bought in August. I do have it's not too many books, but it is quite a fair few than I would usually haul in these videos. So I guess I'm going to go through them. I don't think this is in any particular order, but I will try and do it from like the order that I bought them throughout the month, if that makes sense. We're going to start with a couple books that I got online, and they came at the beginning, like the very beginning of August. So the first book that we have here is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. This book is a sapphic feminist fairy tale retelling of Cinderella. I have not read this book yet, but I am very excited to read it because it seems like it's right up my alley. It's kind of like destroying the patriarchy, I don't want to marry a man, want to marry a woman kind of thing, and I'm like, me too, girl. So I'm very excited to read this book. This book also has POC representation, which is what we love. So yeah, that's basically the whole synopsis of this book. It's just a feminist fairy tale retelling of the classic fairy tale Cinderella, but instead we have people of colour, we have queer people, we have defeating the patriarchy. We love that. So that's the first book that I got in August. The next book that I have is also a fairy tale retelling, which is Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Barshadist. This book is a retelling of Snow White, and it is also sapphic, so that is probably the main reason why I got it. I talked about these two books in my sapphic recommendations, like sapphic books on my TBR video, which I can leave up in the iCard as well. There's a bunch of books on there if you're looking for books that have sapphic or sapphic representation in it. So this book, like I said, is a Snow White retelling, and instead of focusing on the sapphic relationship, I think it focuses more on the mother-daughter relationship. If you want to hear more about this book, you can go and watch my sapphic recs video because I talk about this in more detail. I'm kind of guilty because I was like, I'm on a buying spending ban, and then I went to the bookshop literally a few days later with my girlfriend and I bought a bunch of books. So yeah. I just like buying books, even though I take a long time to read them. Buying books and reading books are totally different hobbies, so it's fine. All of these books that I bought at the bookshop are all queer because I am slowly building my queer book collection because I want to read more queer books. I am a queer person, clearly. So that's why I'm basically just hauling a bunch of queer books. But anyways. This first book that we have here is one that I have been anticipating for the longest time to come out in paperback, and that is Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. This book is obviously the 4th volume of the Heartstopper series, my favourite graphic novel series. I have not read this book yet, but I plan to very soon, which is a spoiler for my TBR. If you don't know what Heartstopper is, it's just a cute little contemporary YA story about two boys who fall in love in high school, and just kind of the struggles that come along being queer in high school and stuff like that. It's a really great read, and I love the series so much, so I had to pick up the 4th one, and now I have all 4 volumes so far. I do know there's more of Heartstopper online, but I prefer to read it paperback because I just like having the physical copy, so that's that one. Next we have a book that I've wanted to get for the longest time, and that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This is also a sapphic novel. I think it's more of a new adult contemporary fiction, so I'm very excited to read this one. The same author who wrote this book also is the author of Red, White and Royal Blue, which I also bought at the same time. This is more of a new adult, but MLM queer novel, contemporary novel, and this is a sapphic novel. So of course I had to get both. I could not buy one without the other. I'm very excited to read both of these. A lot of hype around this book. it's a lot of people's favorite books and they always recommend it, so of course I had to get it and give it a try. And then this book hasn't been talked about like too often because it is, I think, a very new release. Yeah, it came out this year, so it hasn't been out for too long and I've had my eye on it for a while, and I just caved and bought both of them because I want to read more about queer people. So I got both of them, very excited to read them. I couldn't really tell you much about both of these because I don't really like to go into books knowing absolutely every single thing that I should be expecting. That's really all I have to say about these ones. I love some new adult. I don't usually read contemporary. I'm kind of getting into it now, but yeah, I picked up some new adult contemporary queer novels because I'm kind of in the contemporary mood for some reason, so I got these ones. The next book I got in August is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alia Sainz. This book is also very highly rated. A lot of people have said that this is their favorite book. This one again is queer. So on the back it says, Aristotle is an angry teen with a brother in prison. Dante is a know-it-all with a unique perspective on life. When the two first meet, they seem to have nothing in common, but as they start spending time together, they develop a special friendship, the kind that changes lives and lasts a lifetime. Together, Ari and Dante will discover the most important truths about the universe, love, and the kind of people they want to be. Very excited about this book. It is a contemporary YA novel. Again, not something I would usually read, but I'm gonna read it anyways because I'm trying to diversify my TBR. So yeah, nothing else I have to say about this except I am very excited to read it. I'm very keen. So yeah, that's the next book I got. By the way, just a heads up, a lot of these books that I'm hauling I probably will be reading in the next month, so there will be like, I will be talking about the books maybe like double, so sorry about that, but I'm just very excited to read these books that I bought. But anyways, moving on. The next book that I got is Hanny and Issues Guide to Fake Dating by Adibe Jarjeda. This book I am so excited to read. This book is a sapphic novel as well, and it is about a bisexual girl in a high school scenario. There's fake dating. I'm very excited to read this book. A lot of my favorite tropes in it, and also we have people of color. People of color! Yay! That's all I have to say about this because I'll probably be talking about it in the video later on, but yeah. That's the next book I got in August. Also, this book is a YA contemporary as well. I have a lot of contemporaries. Who am I? Who am I becoming? She's changing. Anyways, the next book I have is a fantasy, and it is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenzeller. This book is a hardcover and I got it for a specific reason which I'll be talking about later on. It is a pirate fantasy young adult novel, and yeah, that's basically it. I don't know too much about this book, but it sounds cool, it looks cool. It's also very popular, a lot of people have talked about it before, so yeah, that's another book that I got in August. Okay, I promise we only have one more book to go. The whole part of this video is a bit long. So this next book is one that I've wanted for the longest time, and it kindly got sent to me by one of my good friends online. She sent it to me through my Amazon wishlist, which is down below if you want to see it. There's no obligation to send me anything. It's just there if you want to support me and my channel. So basically this book came in the mail and I was like, I didn't order this book and it didn't have like a note, so I was like, maybe the company accidentally sent it to me since I do buy a lot of books online, guiltily. But so yeah, I was like, maybe the company sent it to me by accident, but then I put it on my Instagram and she swiped up and she was like, I sent it to you, and so yeah, thank you so much, Maddie, if you're watching this. I really appreciate it. So yeah, the book that we're talking about is A Trial of Sorcerers by Elise Cover. This book is absolutely gorgeous, so stunning. This is everything that I want in my life right now. I love fantasy novels. Fantasy is my favorite genre if you don't know. And this book just encapsulates it all. We have the magic, we have the pretty girls, so what can we say? I'm very excited to read this book. This book, as the title probably suggests, is about a trial of sorcerers, I suppose. And I'm very excited to read it. The back says, this is the first book in a young adult epic fantasy that's a tale of competition, coming of age, distant lands, elemental magic, and romance. Love that. It's perfect for fans of The Legend of Korra, Truth Witch, and A Sorcery of Thorns. I read A Sorcery of Thorns and I've wanted to read Truth Witch for the longest time, so I know I'm just gonna love this book. Very excited to read it, so So this is the very last book that I acquired in August. So now that we have the whole portion of this video out of the way, let's talk about all the books that I actually read in August. Like I said, I only read books that I read in my 24-hour readathon. So if you've watched the 24-hour readathon, you probably know all the books that I read. Warning for you if you don't want to see the books over again. These books are all queer as well. Maybe this is turning into a queer, like, booktube channel. I mean, it kind of already is. I'm literally a lesbian, but whatever. So this first book that I read in my readathon is my favorite book of all time now. It's finally replaced the title of The Song of Achilles. The Song of Achilles has been bumped down to 2, and this book has been placed on number 1. So that tells me a lot. And that book is The Henna Wars by Adaba Jai. I absolutely loved it. This is probably the fastest I've ever read a book in my whole entire life. Oh, lies. I've read a book in like an hour. It is just such an amazing book. I gave it 5 stars, of course, since it is my favorite book of all time now. This book is a sapphic young adult contemporary novel, and it focuses around our main character Nishat, who is a lesbian, and she is just basically navigating through life. Her parents don't really accept her, she has a hard time at school, just like stuff like that a lot of people can probably relate to, especially myself. My favorite thing about this book, I've talked about it before, but the dedication in this book says, "To queer brown girls, this is for you." That's something that really made me emotional because I'm a queer brown girl, and a book has never been dedicated to me before that I've read. So yeah, it just means a lot that I finally see myself in a novel that I'm reading. Of course, this book is about Nishat's life, about being a lesbian, but there's also another character who is a love interest called Flavia. It is kind of like a romance, YA rom-com kind of novel, and I really enjoyed it. It talks about a lot of subjects like racism, bullying, homophobia, appropriating someone's culture, stuff like that. So yeah. Tell me why it just got bright. So that is the first book that I read in August. I loved it so much. I could not recommend it enough. The next book is another sapphic YA novel, except this one is fantasy, and it is Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley. I read this book and rated it 4 stars in the readathon. This book is about sapphic witches. It has enemies to lovers, the one bed trope, all that fun stuff. I rated it 4 stars because I felt like it was kind of a little bit fast-paced, but I did appreciate that it was like a soft sapphic novel. There wasn't any full depictions of like homophobia in it, which I like really appreciate. In this world, homophobia kind of like doesn't exist. Like, it's just like a normalized thing, which was really refreshing to read about. This book is basically just about a magical world where a plague is taking over the kingdom, and we have 2 girls, a witch and a source. A source is just full magic, and a witch is someone who like bends magic, does whatever, you know, witchy things. And basically they need each other to stop the plague, but they hate each other. They have to go through all this stuff together. It's like a big journey, and I think this is a standalone, but yeah, I also got it in the hardcover, which is super fun. I got it on Book Depository, I think, so yeah. That was the next book that I read in August. The next books that I read are all graphic novels, and they are the Heartstopper comics, volume 1, 2, and 3. These are rereads. I have read them before, so now I've read them twice, but I wanted to reread them before I read the 4th volume so I could just refresh my memory, because I did read these at the beginning of the year. So we have volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3 here. I rated these all 5 stars again because they are just my absolute favorite. I love the representation in here. We have all different types of representation. We have trans, gay, lesbian, we have it all. And so yeah, that's why I love it so much. There's not much else to say about these because I'm pretty sure I've talked about them in other videos where I did like a wrap-up haul, I think. But yeah. Those are the last books that I read in August. I know kind of reading graphic novels maybe kind of seems like cheating, but it's still a novel and I still count it, so it's fine. But yeah, those are the books that I read in the month of August, and hopefully I can read more books in the month of September. I really want to read again. I miss reading a lot and being like an avid reader all the time and just, you know, losing myself in a book. So hopefully I will get to that, but those are the books that I read in August, and now let's go into the books that I want to read in September. So I'm going to be talking about some of these books again because I really want to read them, so they're on my TBR. The first book that I have on my TBR for September is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. This is my book club's book club book of the month for September. If you don't know, I run a book club called the Fair Folk Book Club. All the information will be down below in the description if you want to join. We basically read fantasy novels exclusively, and you know, we just love fantasy, so I made a book club where we can all read fantasy books together. And we also have a Discord, so you can join that and chat with a bunch of people, meet new people from all around the world. That's how I met a bunch of friends from all the corners of the world, which is really, really fun. The theme for September is pirates, and I put a bunch of pirate books for people to choose, and this was the most voted for, so that's why I have it here in hardcover, because I scoured the internet to find a copy of this novel. So yeah, that is the Fair Folk Book Club book of the month, and hopefully I'll actually read it, because a lot of the books that we have on our book club I don't even read, because obviously my book slump and I'm a mood reader, but I'm keen about this book and I'm gonna read it. So putting it out there to the universe, manifesting it right now, I'm gonna read this book. The next book I want to read, of course, is Heartstopper Volume 4. Not much else to say about this book except I've wanted to read this for the longest time. I was like, is that a bug? It's just a bookmark. The next book that I want to read in September is a book I've already talked about, and that's Handy and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. After reading The Henna Wars, I am very intrigued to see if it was like a one-off thing, or maybe she's my favorite author and I love everything that she's ever written in her whole entire life. Also because I used to identify as bisexual, and then I figured out that I was actually a lesbian, so I'm very excited to read about a bisexual character, because I don't think I've ever read about a bisexual character before. Which is so weird to think, because I've read quite a few books and none of them have ever been bisexual. So yeah, that's the next book that I want to read in September. The last book that I have put on my physical TBR for this month is another book that I've already mentioned in this video, and it is The Trial of Sorcerers by Elise Cover. As soon as I got this in the mail, I honestly happy screamed. I was like, if they accidentally send this to me, I don't want to send it back, because I really want this book. Turns out it was kindly gifted to me. Thank you so much again. So yeah, very excited to read this book. I love magic and sorcerers and witches and fantasy worlds, and I want to read a fantasy novel, and this one doesn't seem too long. It is only like 300 pages, so I'm super, super excited to read this, and hopefully I can get to it this month. But yeah, I just want to show you the cover. Like, look how gorgeous this cover is. I really wish that I could paint like this. I'm manifesting it, because one day I will, but you never know. So yeah, those are the books on my TBR. Daughter of the Pirate King, Heartstopper Volume 4, Handy and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating, and A Trial of Sorcerers. A nice diverse TBR here. Graphic novels, regular novels, contemporary fantasy, queer people. So yeah, very excited to read these books. Hopefully I actually get to them, because if I don't, I will be sad. So yeah, those are all the books that I read in August, bought in August, and want to read in September. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one, friends. Bye!